Wednesday, May the 11th, 2022. Of course, this is our live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Our best bets always over in the premium area. You can see right above Chris over here, 15% off. Use that code May 15th. Only good one per person. So be sure to take full advantage of it. But yeah, interesting day yesterday, man. It was like it's like I was 2-2 in my premium picks, but man, I don't know. It's just one of those days that you know it before it even starts. It was just, I guess I got up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm not really sure what happened, but anyways, today is a new day, and you guys can see we're doing some set reconstruction. It's going to take a while. So we're just going to make shift over the next few weeks. Doesn't stop us from doing videos, doesn't stop us from doing shows. We're just going to continue to roll on. Chris, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. It was one of those weird days yesterday where you kind of really didn't know which way was up, but I'm ready to get to it today. Got some nice early baseball action and some great NBA as well.
Brian, how about you? How you doing today?
Might be my worst day of the year yesterday, 0-5, but my free picks were 5-1, YouTube Premium 2-1, so I just chose the wrong games to give out. And it was, I'm not going to say depressing, but I'll bounce back today. I'm ready to. It's just one of those days that you have once in a while.
I think we all have had days like that, and you kind of, you kind of dust yourself off, and you stick to the game plan, and it's exactly how I felt. It's like, I loved Texas, and I loved Seattle, and I gave them out as premium picks, but not my big play. My big play was the Twins and Justin Verlander. No one was going to beat him yesterday, I'll tell you that much. He was sensational.
I was surprised that Joe Ryan looked mediocre. I had spent, I just looked average yesterday.
I just thought the number of walks that we saw in that game were just way high, so that's, if you walk batters, it's never going to be a good thing for you, and that's what we saw in that game. Then we had in the NBA, we had the Heat just slaughtering the Sixers, and we had the Suns just slaughtering the Mavericks. So both those series, they have teams on the brink. I don't know if we have 7-game series or not. I think we're going to have to take a look. We'll take a look, I guess, at those games tomorrow. But as far as today goes, we open it up. We have the Celtics and the Bucks going back at it. Chris, what are your thoughts here?
I went back and forth on this game, but I still can't really get myself off the fact that we're still getting 5.5 points with the defending champions. I know no Chris Middleton, but you look at Giannis. He put up 34 and 18 in the last game, and if he had just had a little bit of more support from the surrounding cast, I mean, Drew Holiday had 16 points, but he shot 5 of 22. If a couple more of those shots fall, we could be talking about a 3-2 series, a 3-1 series, and Milwaukee having Boston on the ropes at home. So I just think that there's value with the Bucks plus 5.5. I think we get a little bit more depth. I think each game of this series should be closer to a 1-possession line. So, hey, give me the Bucks plus 5.5.
Brian, how about you?
Yeah, couldn't get the premium on either one of these two plays, but as far as free picks go, I pretty much agree with Chris here. 5.5 with the Milwaukee Bucks just seems like a lot of points. I think Boston wins this game, but I don't see them blowing out Milwaukee with their playoff-tested team. I'm going to take the points here with the Bucks. I think it's a solid play.
I think it is too. I just think that I think this game is probably going to be pretty tight. And I think it's going to be a physical, low-scoring game. So I'm with you guys there. What do you have going on at Pick Dogs today?
Well, at Pick Dogs today, I'm going to bounce it back from yesterday. I got my revenge 3-pack, my 3 best bets in baseball. They're all underdogs. So I'm looking for winning day number 6 out of the last 7. So we're going to brush off yesterday and get back to winning.
How about you, Chris?
Yeah, and for me, I got my MLB crooked number, my 5-pack for MLB today. Love the card today. It's going to get you started early. Baseball throughout the day, and make some money there. I also got my NBA bookie buster, and break the bookie with that one. 5-pack was $49.95. Single play standalone $29.95, and also compare everyone up on part of the 2-1 capper deal that go long term as well. Get those plays.
Well, thanks, Chris. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just like I said, just a temporary situation here. All right, now we're back. Anyways, got Major League Baseball back to the diamond again today, and
You forgot an NBA game, Mitch.
Oh, go ahead.
Not to be a pain in the ass.
Go ahead. No. That's why you're here.
In the second game with the Golden State Warriors and the Memphis Grizzlies here, for me, I'm going to take the Memphis Grizzlies. The line just seems off to me. You're only going to have to lay 4.5 with Golden State, who's just been could easily take Memphis to task here. But we saw Memphis play a real good defensive game at Golden State, and they gave themselves a chance to win it at the end. I think they got a little bit more left in the tank. It's never easy in Memphis. So here, I'm just going to take the points here for a small wager.
Yeah, I think I'm going to lean towards the under in that game. The reason that was so close is because Memphis usually plays pretty well without Ja Morant. He's more of an offensive player and defensive liability a little bit. The 25 games that Morant missed this year, Memphis had a defensive rating of 104 points per 100 possessions. So I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I think the Grizzlies are going to try to drag Golden State down to their level, not let them have as many open threes, any open shots for that matter. So I like the under 218 in that one.
Yeah, I think for me, I just think the Warriors. This is the closeout game. I think that they are the better team here, and I think that that's what we're going to see from them. But I just think that I think the Grizzlies have fought the good fight here, and I think that without Ja Morant, they have to kind of have that excuse to as to why they didn't get it done, but I don't think they really need any excuse. This is a team that drafted second overall just a few years ago. I think what we see in the NBA is that if you draft correctly at the top of the draft, or if you just make the right moves, that things can change for you in a hurry. And it's kind of like, why did it take the Minnesota Timberwolves this long, and why did the Sacramento Kings never seem to be able to do it? Right? I mean, these make the case defending those teams in any way, shape, or form even tougher, because here you have a Memphis team drafted second overall just a few years ago. You have a Phoenix Suns team that drafted first overall the year before that, and then you have a Pelicans team who drafted number 1 the same year that Memphis drafted number 2, made it to the actual playoffs and were competitive without the guy they even drafted with that number 1 overall pick. You look at the teams like the Nets, who hit the free agent market extremely hard in recent years, did the acquisitions of guys like Kevin Durant, James Harden, and then you see the other teams that have kind of built the other way, and there's a million ways to get it done, but my way is the right way, right? So that's it's ironic. Anyways. But I think that the Warriors just have too much. They had all those years of drafting high, and they made the most of it. And they're still paying. Those guys are still paying dividends. All these years later. Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond Green. These guys are through the system. Yet they won with Kevin Durant, but their core, the guys that are there now, the guys that were there before Durant. They're from the system, These guys are the guys that they picked. So I think it just goes to show you. But I think the future for the Grizzlies is extremely bright. I just don't think the future is bright tonight. I think this series is over, and I think it's been over for a while. It's just been all over but the crying in this one. But I think big credit to the Grizzlies, their organization, and everything that they've done this season. You know, I think that they for all the teams that lost key players and had rough seasons, I would say the Clippers and the Grizzlies were the two teams that really persevered, through it all. The Lakers had LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and who were banged up most of the season and really never got to play much together. But Ja Morant missed a lot of time this year too, and Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Kawhi Leonard missed the entire season. Paul George missed a huge chunk of the season, and the Clippers were still competitive and were still a playoff team. While the Lakers, I think LeBron James probably and Anthony Davis probably played as much as Paul George did this season. Chris, any thoughts on what we've seen so far in the NBA up to this point? Because the lottery is coming up.
Yeah, and I think you look at just some of the names that have been thrown out into the draft pool this year. I think whoever wins the draft lottery is going to have a great shot at going the way that you talked about, Mitch, with the Grizzlies and the Pelicans and even the Suns, where you can start picking up a tremendous building block for the future. And I see all the quote unquote super teams that have been built over the years, and we're starting to see that development works. And you don't want to use the whole Philly trust the process mantra, but it's been proven. Hey, if you can build from within, you can still win. You don't have to go out and chase all the big names. Look how well that worked out for the Lakers this season.
Look at it across different sports. The teams that basically keep it from within. The Baltimore Ravens, the New England Patriots, the Tampa Bay Rays, the Oakland A's. The teams that kind of do it this way, as opposed to the teams that go out and get the superstars. Even the Yankees are built from within now. The Yankees, we might not like them because their public is all get out, and they're the Yankees, right? So it's like it's either you love them or you hate them, right? It's the New York Yankees anyway you slice it. But I mean, there's a reason they're a great organization with 29, 27, 28, 29 World Series titles, because they get it. It's like, this is what's working, and it's like, we're not going to sit around and wait to see if it continues to work or not. It's like, this is working, we're going to go do the same thing. And I think it just goes to show a lesson, I think, for a lot of these other franchises out there. And I think it's best for the fans too. And I think anyways, I just think that the Grizzlies, I think it's all over tonight, and maybe we're back to talk about them again. But I think we got to give them just a lot of credit, for D'ing it up. Really, that's really what they did. They D'd it up, and a lot of these other teams that have built from within and done those things across the board in these other sports, they've done it with defense. The Ravens, the Patriots, all the teams we named. Look at the Yankees pitching this year. Look at the low-scoring games that they're in. Night after night. Even though they're considered the bombers. Anyways, for my premium picks tonight, I have my $15 big play. I've only put in one other pick so far. I've had, as you guys can see, I'm kind of in a kind of all over the place these days, but I will get up. I'm going to look up and down the schedule, see if I can find another game for a 3-pack. If not, I'll just go with my 2 that I have, and I'm fine with those. But, we'll have home run props. We just haven't done baseball yet.
Not to backtrack too much, but what the good qualities you said about the Memphis Grizzlies, how they played without Morant many times this year and haven't had any excuses. I think that's the kind of what they're going to bring to the table tonight against Golden State. And I don't think anybody expects it, or not many expect it, but I think it's going to be a tight game. So I guess we'll have to see how it turns out. But
I think
that's what I'm thinking.
I think it may be a tight game, and it's it may be a tight game. It may not be a tight game. But I think regardless, the series is over, and I think that the series is over tonight. I don't think I think the Warriors are gonna win this game. I don't think there's much doubt to that. At least not for me. But we can move over to Major League Baseball. And yeah, like I said, I think the Grizzlies are going to go down swinging. I think they are going to D it up. I think they're going to do whatever it takes. They're going to leave it all in the court. That's what they've done all season. I don't know if the refs are on anybody in this one. I think it's probably in their best interest for Golden State, to be honest with you, because they are the fourth largest TV market in the United States, and so if they're on anybody, it's the Warriors. There's not a lot of reason for it to be, but yeah, the Kings are just. I mean, I know you guys, everyone who watches our show, you love to say they're trash or whatever, and I think the Kings are the trash right now. I really do. I don't understand it.
The last time Kings were good is when Chris Webber was on the team with Vlade Divac, and probably butchered his name, but that was the last time the Kings were any good.
Don't worry, we got Ruffalo here for the pronunciations.
Yeah, there's a guy's name in baseball I'm going to need his help with later.
Okay.
Well, anyways, good transition there, Brian. We're going to go to Major League Baseball. We've got the Pirates against the Dodgers. Dylan Peters does make it to the mound for this one for the Pirates. He was listed as the starter the other day, did not play, and the Pirates ended up winning those games. We have Talion versus Barrios at the stadium, and Vladdy Gutierrez up against Adrian Hauser. The Reds have played respectable in this series. Chris, you look at these three games. What do you think?
Yeah, the one game I was definitely taking a look at was that Reds matchup, and I still think I got to go with Milwaukee on the run line as well as they played. Vlad Gutierrez was a pitcher I made a ton with last year, but it hasn't panned out this year, and he does have a 6.50 career ERA at that bandbox at Great American Ballpark, and I think the Brewers can get to him. They already got to him in his last start for 7 runs over 4 1/3 innings. So I like Milwaukee in the run line there, and I'm going to go back to the well with Toronto here. I personally am just not a Jameson Taillon fan, and Barrios, yeah, he struggled in his last start, but I think it's a bounce back here. I think Toronto, they tried to bounce back yesterday. They couldn't do it with Kikuchi, but I think they do it with Barrios here.
Hey, Chris, who's starting for the Dodgers today?
I was seeing. Let me see here.
That's the name I couldn't.
Oh, Ryan Pepio or Peplot or Pepiot.
I didn't know how the hell to pronounce his name. So
Well, that's a good question. Solid question. We'll have to.
While you guys are thinking about it, as far as those games go, I'm going to take the Toronto Blue Jays, New York Yankees to go under the number of 7.5. Jameson Taillon, I think he's having a career year with the Yankees. And Barrios, I think he's off a bad start, but I still believe in Jose Barrios. I think this number stays under. The Yankees' bats aren't lighting it up either. So I like the under 7.5. And then I'm going to go, that's maybe my public play of the day. I'm going to take the Milwaukee Brewers, lay the run line here. I'm not a Gutierrez guy, and he's living up to my expectations this year. He's been brutal. 0-5, 8.86 ERA. So I'll take the Brewers, lay the run line.
Pepio for the Dodgers in that one. I don't care who's pitching. I'm on the Pirates. Everybody knows it. I'm not going to sit here and just go back and forth on it or whatever. I mean, it's not like nobody, not like the big surprise. Oh boy, I wonder who Mitch is on in the Pirates Dodgers game. It's like Mitch is on the Pirates. We'll speak about myself in the third person there for a second, and I'm taking the Pittsburgh Pirates to beat the Dodgers, and that will make this a series for us just an absolute cash cow, because we're playing with house money at this point because we got better than plus 200 on our win. So we're just playing with house money right here. So I say, you know what I say? Let it ride, baby. I'm taking the Pittsburgh Pirates. And then as far as Vladdy Gutierrez goes, I know he's Brian's guy, but he's one of those guys that last year just seemed to always find a way to win, and this year, the Reds can't seem to find a way to win. I think the game at the stadium, I think Taillon is off to a good start. I wouldn't call it a career year. It's not like it's Martin Perez or something where it's like we've never seen him pitch this well ever before. Taillon's had decent starts before. So, but I'm less than convinced. And this price on this game, the way that Barrios is pitching, really shows you that the Blue Jays are probably the play here, because if you're just looking at it from a pure odds perspective, you would think the Yankees, the way they've dominated the Blue Jays so far this season, I believe. Chris, what's the record with the Yankees and the Blue Jays this year? 35-3, 30 something like that, 35-0. It's like I think they've won 17 games against them so far this season. They swept them at Toronto, and then they won these ones, right?
So, let me go back and I don't have it off the top of my head. I'll get that for you.
It's a lot to a little, right? A lot to nothing. It could be. Let's take a look. It's
they split in New York.
The first series.
They split in New York to start the year back in mid-April, and then New York took 2 of 3 in Toronto earlier this month.
All right.
So 3-4.
It's looked uglier than that. And then last night, the Aaron Judge.
Or 3-5, then I guess. Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for me in those games. I just think that Barrios is so bad. It's like he's just a puddle of disappointment in my book. I really thought he was going to be a superstar when he came up. He was a first-round draft choice, which you guys know I always like. But I just think that he's never, for a guy that's drafted in the first round, you have to have the potential to become a number 1 starter. Like Tyone, it's like I'm critical of him, but look where he was drafted. What was he, 3rd overall or something? I mean, he was like, he might have even been 2nd overall. And we'll take a look and find out exactly where he was drafted. But I know it was ridiculously high. And that's why, I'm critical of him, because I think when you're drafted that high, the expectation is certainly there, And if you look at the people in that Tyone draft class, he was number 2 overall in 2010 draft. And if you look at that 2010 draft, it was stacked. It was like one of those stacked drafts. So that's the only reason I've been super critical of Tyone over things. And I think that, he certainly has the high ceiling, but he's not a young up-and-comer anymore. When you're 12 years in, I think that the expectation is there. Speaking of expectation, Vince is pitching today for the White Sox, so you know where Brian and I will be. You don't even have to ask any questions on that one.
Don't put words in my mouth.
I'll put the words right in. I'll put the words right in your mouth. You just can't help yourself, Vince Velasquez. We know that. It's okay. We've come to terms with it. We've also got the Arizona Diamondbacks up against the Miami Marlins. Merrill Kelly and Alcantara, 2 good pitchers going at it. And then Seattle taking on the Phillies. It's Logan Gilbert. And I'm seeing Yuri's Familia listed as the starter here. Oh, man.
I got Falter listed for the Phillies. It doesn't matter. It's a bullpen game. So.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And that Phillies bullpen. Oh, my. Oh, my. Most people think Jose Barrios is a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. I don't know who those most people are. Let's take a poll of everybody here. Say yes or no. Do you think Barrios is a Hall of Famer when all is said and done? I would say no.
I would say not right now, no. Unless he does something miraculous in Toronto, probably not.
I don't see even a miraculous thing in Toronto even gets him there. It would need to have like some 20-win seasons or something.
Yeah, like I'm saying, he would have to, like, the rest of his contract would have to be like 18 to 20 win seasons, like 2 or 3 World Series, and a Cy Young or 2 in there.
He's been a big disappointment. He has. There's really not any other ways to slice that. But what are the other games? Then, but so we have Diamondbacks, Marlins.
You mentioned 3.
Yeah. Chris, what do you think?
You know what? I like all 3 of these games, actually. I like the White Sox. I'm not the Vince Velasquez fan, but I'm an anti-Aaron Savali fan this year. He's been absolutely terrible. He's allowed 4 runs in each of his 5 starts. Surprisingly, the Guardians are 3-2 in his 5 starts, but I think the offense could only hold up for so long. And Savali's allowed 16 runs in his last 3 starts over 12 2/3. So I think the White Sox get to him here. Excuse me. I'm going to take the under in that Miami-Arizona game. Like you said, Alcantara and Merrill Kelly, it just screams pitcher's duel. And the problem for Alcantara is that even if he goes for the win, run support's been an issue for the Marlins getting it for him. So I think it's a bit of a pitcher's duel here. And I'm going to go with the Seattle Mariners. Philly bullpen game against Logan Gilbert with how well Logan Gilbert been pitching to start the year, absolutely sign me up.
Brian?
Yeah, I really like this time slot also. I'm going to go jump in on the Seattle Mariners as the best bet in this time slot. I'm just hoping I'm not getting suckered into this one. Logan Gilbert's been fantastic. Philly's bullpen's horrible. I just think Seattle's a very solid player. And then I'm going to go against my guy, Vince Velasquez. I don't know the last time he's had 3 really good starts in a row. Aaron Savali has been bad, but his lifetime numbers, I think he's around a 4.14 ERA. He has a winning record as a starter. And the White Sox have choked games away this season. So I'll take the Guardians here plus money.
You know, Cleveland has this pipeline, this system of these guys that come through. They come through this certain series of teams in their farm system, right? They have I don't know exactly what they are, but there's an exact path that they have for the guys that are seen as their top end pitchers. And they've had a bunch of them, right, over the last decade. Kluber and, they had Carrasco was awesome there. Corbin was a viable product when he was with Cleveland. Tristan McKenzie came through the same pipeline. Bieber and Savali. They're all from the same exact track that they took through. So we have to believe that Savali's high side is there. I mean, the people that know are saying, yes, it's there. But every time we start to believe in it, he certainly doesn't do it. And, well, Vince Velasquez, I just love the way this guy pitches. He's just got the textbook form. And even when he gives up the big hits, which he does, he gives up the bombs. They are the best bombs, you know. They're not just like... you think Vince Velasquez ever gives up a home run that just barely clears the fence? They're always tape measure, you know.
Moonshots.
They're just. It's like Bruce Hurst on the Boston Red Sox back in the '86 team. I mean, he was fantastic. At Game 6 of the World Series in '86, in the bottom of the 9th inning, they posted on the board in the bottom of the 9th inning, World Series MVP Bruce Hurst. Did you know that? That's how close. That's how much they thought the game was over. Game 6, '86. They posted at Shea Stadium on the board, Series MVP Bruce Hurst. Crazy, right? But Bruce Hurst was exactly the same way as this guy. Great pitcher, great form, all those things. But man, when he gave up a home run, was it, Eddie Murray, I think, just, made the Hall of Fame batting off of Bruce Hurst. You want to see a Hall of Famer, look at Eddie Murray's stats, not Jose Barrios.
One of the best switch hitters in baseball.
No, it's just power from both sides. I was at a spring training game once, the Yankees and the Braves, and I was sitting right by the on-deck circle, and Fred McGriff hit 2 home runs in that game. And, it's spring training, so I only played 5 innings of the game. He only played 5 innings, but both the times he was up, 2 swings, 2 home runs, and it was wow. It's I think when you see them live and close up like that, it's just a different view, than what you could possibly see on TV. Just craziness. But I like Vince. He's pitching well. I think he's found a home here in Chicago. I think these are his guys. The White Sox have that. He fits the vibe there. So, we'll take him. And the White Sox are playing fairly well. They had the blow up, but they bounced back, and I think they're starting to settle in as that they are going to be contenders this year in the Central. Though no one really repeats in the Central, right?
They still could use another pitcher.
Fred McGriff isn't even in the Hall of Fame. Eddie Murray certainly is. Crime Dog, I don't know. He has, if he's not in the Hall of Fame, he certainly has numbers. Certainly has.
I don't think he did enough.
Crime Dog. Anyways, we move on to the next set of games. Those are a nice set of afternoon games. We do have all-day sports today, which you gotta love. And we'll move into the next set of games. And we're going to go to tomorrow. I'm going to be way better set up than this, I promise. We got the Rockies taking on the Giants. We've got the Padres taking on the Cubs. And the Nationals taking on the Mets. Brian, this segment, to me, looks like the highest probability of a dog parlay, at least a two-teamer. Like I like if you round robin all three dogs here, I think you're gonna cash. What do you think?
Yeah, as far as like a play against national, normal thinking, you would think that the New York Mets and McGill would just annihilate Aaron Sanchez, who's one of the worst starters in baseball. But in that matchup there, I'm going to lean on the Washington Nationals plus 1.5. You know me, I like to play it safe. And then the Rockies Giants. Giants have been beating them up all series, but we got one of our favorite guys, Chad Kuhl. Too cool for cool. I'm not too cool for cool today. I'm going to take Chad Kuhl. But I'm going to take the Rockies on the run line. I think Cobb doesn't do it for me. I think the Rockies can keep it competitive.
How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I think I'm going to lean towards the over in that Colorado-San Francisco game. I didn't love what I saw from Cobb in his last start. And while Kuhl is pitching really well this year, I think he's maybe due to regress a little bit. And even if he does and hands it over to that Colorado bullpen, they have the highest ERA in baseball right now, well over 5, and a whip over 1.5. So I think we get over 7.5 in that one. And I like the San Diego Padres on the run line. I just think Nick Martinez has really transitioned well from his stint over in Japan. And I think this Cubs lineup just that's not something, I believe me, with Nick Martinez, that's not something I thought I would say. But
you've been hanging out with Brian too long or something. It's like maybe move into the morning show, kind of messing with your brain.
It messed with my brain. Yeah, maybe. Look, I have a soft spot for the Japanese league. Any team named the Nippon Ham Fighters has a home with me. Okay, I'm gonna get the Ham Fighters jersey in my closet. But no, I just like the Padres. Maybe it's. I don't see anybody for the starting for the Cubs just yet. Unless
Keegan Thompson.
Nobody is starting. Nobody.
Keegan Thompson.
They all called in sick. Not playing. Sorry, can't make it.
I think if Martinez can give the Padres a capable start, that should be enough to get them a win on the run line.
All right. Well, let's move right along. You guys, I made my case already here. I think it's dog in that slot. We got the Angels against the Rays. Shohei Ohtani coming off of that gem last time out. Joey Wentz getting a start here for the Tigers. Oh, man. Times are tough in Detroit. Casey Mize is actually doing I think he either did a rehab start yesterday or his rehab starting today. They can't get him and Manning back soon enough. Ever since those two guys have gone down, the Tigers have gone down with them. And then Ian Anderson, oh boy, against Nathan Eovaldi. I like the over in that one. If you're going to the ballpark in Atlanta tonight, bring a glove. Chris, what do you think?
Eovaldi has though.
They're terrible. The Red Sox are they're awful. Chris, what do you think of these?
I still can't get over that.
Nick Martinez, his stint in Japan. Yeah, I don't even understand I have no idea what you're talking about.
He was a dumpster fire in Texas, and then he went over to Japan and kind of got everything fixed and came back, and now he's actually pitching half decent. But for this time slot, I like the Atlanta Braves. I'm just not an Nate Eovaldi fan, and I think Ian Anderson probably one of the better mid-tier starters that you could have if you're the Atlanta Braves. And for that Rays and Angels matchup, I think I might go with a strikeout prop for Shohei Ohtani. Like you said, he threw an absolute gem. And I worry the Tampa Bay lineup is going to be a bit swing happy, and Ohtani's going to have just another solid outing. So I like the strikeout prop there for the over for Shohei Ohtani.
He was just sensational last time. Brian?
In that grouping, I'm not wild about it, but I'm going to go with the Oakland A's here. I looked up Wentz's numbers. I don't know if he's related to Carson Wentz, but he has a 4.12 ERA, kind of mediocre in the minors this year. And Oakland, these are the type of games that this team excels at winning. So I'm going to take the Oakland A's here. You're not paying any juice. You're even getting a little bit of plus money in some spots.
Joey Wentz. Let's see.
It can't be related to Carson Wentz. He actually hits his target.
I don't have my sound effects with me. I do not see where he's listed on his Wikipedia page as Carson Wentz's brother.
I was joking. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes they are. Sometimes, same last name. You never know. Stranger things have happened than that, right? Joey Wentz, I'm going to guess. Some guys, they go to the majors. Like we knew, like Kirby, when he came up with Seattle last week, we knew that he might as well, pack up all his minor league stuff because he's never going back. But I do believe that Joey Wentz, might want to just leave the dog at the kennel and go pick him up on his way back home because I don't think he's going to be here in Detroit for very long. And I do think, so the issue here is the A's don't win back-to-back at all. And the Tigers are terrible. This is a good game to not even if we pretend it doesn't happen, maybe it didn't happen. If we really apply ourselves. But we also have in this slot, let's see, we have. Oh, yeah, I like the over in that Red Sox Braves. Ian Anderson's been terrible. Eovaldi, we know. And Ohtani, you guys have heard me just rave about him recently. So you guys know how I feel.
You're becoming a fanboy.
I am becoming a fanboy. If he does it again, I'm gonna have to see where Nino's got the Kershaw shirt and see if I can get an Ohtani one. Anyway, speaking of Ohtani, we got Chris Archer going to Minnesota against Jose Urquidy. Miles Mikolas up against Spencer Watkins in St. Louis. And then we've got the Texas Rangers against the Kansas City Royals. That was one of the more dominating games yesterday. I love the Rangers yesterday. I don't know why I didn't make that my big play of the day. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Going against Verlander for my big play. Lesson learned. Anyways, Chris, your namesake, Archer, what do you think here? I think he's frozen, right? Or is he muted?
Yeah, no, I don't want to. I don't want to go near that game after yesterday's debacle. I know it's Justin Verlander had a great game, but I just worry he might have a carryover for the Twins.
The Twins also. Twins just had a lot of walks in that game. Their pitchers just lot of. You cannot walk guys like that many guys and expect to win. They steal second, and all of a sudden it's a run. And that's the Astros. Their first run they scored was exactly that: walk, stole second, go to third on the out, and then they manufacture a run. It's 1-0, and as we talked yesterday, 70%, right, 68% of the time. That's good enough. Anyways,
the only game I really like here is I like the Cardinals on the run line. I give credit to Spencer Watkins for getting his ERA from the high 8s last season with Baltimore to a respectable one around just under 3 so far this season. But Miles Mikolas has been pretty much lights out for the Cardinals. I expect him to hold down this Orioles lineup. And while the offense has been inconsistent for the Cardinals, when it shows up, it usually shows up in droves. And even a mediocre outing may be enough for them to win on the run line here. So give me Cards -1.5.
For me, that grouping of games, I'm going to go opposite of my buddy Roofler. I'm going to take the Baltimore Orioles. They're 7-3 last 10. They've won 3 straight, and they're probably one of the more profitable teams in baseball this year, I would think. I just think they stay within a run. Spencer Watkins hasn't been horrible. Last start, I think he barely made it 5 and gave up 3 runs or so. But I think the Orioles can stay in this game, and Mikolas is performing well above his pay grade this year. I think he takes a step back today against the Orioles.
Yeah, Chris Archer is a no-go for me. I just can't do it. And I just think the way the Astros played in yesterday's game, just not worth even trying to do something here with the Twins. On the other one, I'm going to. I like the Texas Rangers. They just seem to really be the better of these two teams. The Rangers appear to be not bad. I would put them in the not bad category. We saw it in that series against Toronto to open the season, and I said at the time, it was like I felt every time either team was at the plate, every single batter, that it was a potential home run. And I think that's the way the Rangers are this year. They're pretty close. This isn't a horrible organization. Remember, it was many years in a row that they were World Series or close, right? So they were in the World Series a bunch.
They have the hitters, just not the pitching.
Right. It's just a matter of getting a couple pitchers. That's really what it is. That's all it is. And they've got Otto, and they've got who's the other guy they got from the Phillies? He doesn't even get to play anymore.
Spencer Watkins, the guy that pitches like an inning, gets up 5 runs.
Yeah, not good. Not good. Anyways, I think they got him from the Yankees in the Gallo trade. But
yeah, I think
go ahead. Let's do our parlays. Brian, what do you like here?
I'm going to parlay up the Baltimore Orioles plus 1.5, Washington Nationals plus 1.5, and the Colorado Rockies plus 1.5. A run line parlay.
Yeah, then I'm going to go with around the world here. I'm going to go with the Bucks plus 5.5, Shohei Ohtani over in strikeouts, and I'll go with the NHL. I like the over between the Penguins and the Rangers.
I like that. I like those 3 teams in that time slot that I said to parlay. I like the Cubs, the Nationals, and the Rockies. Parlay those up and round robin them as well. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. It's been a fun show. We've got our premium show and VIP shows following this. Chris Ruffalo now is part of our VIP and premium, so even more premium value there. It is the best value in sports handicapping anywhere. It's only $50 a month for the premium, $99 for the VIP, which includes the premium, and it also includes a free monthly consensus report. It's $50 on its own. So we don't push that a lot. I think maybe it's time to start doing a little bit more of that. And but I tell you, with Chris joining the fold there, even more value. So be sure to check it out, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you.